My name is John Fetterwoman.
Oh! Oh! Oh, yes! John Fetterwoman! Yeah! John Fetterwoman! Oh, here we go. All right. Yes. From mom's and dad's basement to the White House to the Senate. John Fetterman has done it. Yes. Yes, thank you. Oh, yes, there is a point for slackers. Yes. Wait a minute. The slacker. The slacker did it. The greatest slacker of all time. Yes. Fetterman. State of Pennsylvania, where Rocky took place. And he is, John Fetterman is the Rocky of the slacker. He is the Rocky of the slacker. I don't know if anyone's going to listen to this, but, and hopefully I thought Joey was going to be in, but Joey's spending all day in the sauna. And I was going to ask, because I wonder, is John Fetterman, is he Jewish? I'm just curious. I almost want to take a look at his bio, John Fetterman, who this man is. But I heard he lived for a while, quite a while, with his parents, and that was the thing about him. But a lot of people are living with their parents nowadays, and he was born August 15th, 1969. And let's see, early life, Fetterman, born 1969 at Reading Hospital in West Reading, Pennsylvania, to Carl and Susan Fetterman. His parents were both married and both 19 years old at the time of his birth, so they were fairly young parents. Fetterman is had a self-described privileged upbringing, and he said he slept walked through a lot of his young adulthood, playing football in college, intending, eventually taking over his father's business. So yeah, just take a look here. And he also had a shotgun incident. But you know what? He is, I guess, what you would call a slacker, and he defeated a doctor. Joey, I can hear your car. Sorry about that.
Yes, you can hear it all. How's it going, everybody? I'm here. I've made it.
Yes, Joey, John Fetterman. John Fetterman is now in the Senate. He is the champion of all slackers, and he has won the Senate race.
Would you even be mentioning him if he did not have a Jewish last name?
I would, well, because he's a slacker, he's a Jewish slacker, I would be mentioning him. But now, does he look Jewish to you, Joey?
I have no idea what he looks like, but and I don't really know his politics either.
No, Joey, you don't keep in touch with politics. But Joey was very he was someone who was against the mask and the vaccine mandate. So, normally Joey doesn't get involved in any sort of politics.
Here's what I do know, that people complain about whether or not uh, women should have the right to end the life of a baby. And what I what I want to add to that is you had about I think if you guesstimate, I think about 30% of the numbers are in, and there's been what maybe 4 million votes in a state where there are 40 million people. So, even if you really kind of expanded that out and just guesstimated what the turnout will be, it'd probably be under 10 million people.
Jo-
So,
Joey, have you ever been to Pennsylvania?
there's 10 million, say about 10 million people at most are going to vote on this. And I find it tragic that people bitch and moan and complain when they don't get out to the polls and do their thing. I don't know. So what about Pennsylvania? I do have relatives in Pennsylvania.
Have you ever been?
I've been there only on a layover.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it's a rather cold place, but I have family there. My late
It's
mother.
it's a tragic place right now. I mean, it's been pretty disgusting and pretty riddled in homelessness.
That's what I've heard. But
And Howard came from there, so it's a pretty uh, horrible place.
well, maybe more than likely. I've sent my feelers out to anyone out there who wants to listen. And but again, I think a lot of the voters kind of felt sorry for John Fetterman, and a lot of women probably kind of like, you know what? I kind of feel for the guy. He's like, he's had a stroke, and they kind of wanted to mother him a little bit. And that's what a lot of guys are probably looking for. A lot of the guys that live at home, and he's a tall guy too. He's over like I think 6'5", 6'6". So he's a big hulking man, and he is now a United States senator, which is really
I don't know if you've seen Chris Christie lately. He's been on the circuit going and doing his political input, and he had the lap band surgery, but he is still gigantic.
yes. The man has yes. The man could be he could be my like if he grew a beard, he could almost take my place. But he'd be a much more feistier Santa than me. Transparency clause. Uh, I'm, uh, I'm trying to be loving, but it is difficult sometimes with the buffoonery. But it is to laugh, and I think we will have some laughter at this thing because Fetterman is he's a very huge man, and it's kind of cool to have a man of that size. And again, I saw the debate. What I saw of the debate, I kind of felt sorry for the guy, and I think he got a lot of sympathy vote. And one of the things that people said, two things that people said, I guess, coming out of the polls was reproductive rights and the rights to democracy. And I wonder if there will be a larger pro-choice Republican contingency. There used to be in the 80s and the 90s. I remember even in the 90s, they even had a pro-choice Republican website, and they would claim that they are conservatives, but they were more libertarian style Republicans, and they believed in a woman's right to choose, whether you call it the choose to end life or you choose it the right to choose, I guess, her own medical procedure to have an abortion, however you want to call it. But I'm thinking that that's going to be an issue within the Republican Party because there are quite a few Republicans that are pro-choice. They just haven't been very vocal as of now. And I guess the other thing is the threats to democracy, which, in my opinion, I think one of the things perhaps might happen is they would have if there is a Republican Congress, they would have hearings on election integrity, and they could either, because there are Republicans who think that this is a load of bullocks, but it would be good to have this out in the open and have it thoroughly examined where Americans can see that and see whether that our elections are secure and well done. And I have a message here. Let me see here. A message from my phone here. And someone said, if you want to know what really happened in the Ukraine, watch this video. I would invite this. I'll give him a link. I'm going to give this man a link. He is the true king of the Jews. And I will give him a link. If he comes on, I don't know if he will, though. Let me see here. Let me see. All right. I'm sending a link to the Discord. And I'm telling him it's in his Discord. I don't know if he'll show up or not. But this is the king of the king of the American Jews. He's been he's living now in Thailand or maybe Cambodia. Who knows? But send him a copy. He may come. He may not. He comes like the wind. I haven't heard from him in quite some time. And king of the Jews, king of the American Jews. That might be Joey though. Joey might be king of the American Jews.
Yes, he takes the back seat and he takes orders from me.
That's correct. That's correct. Well, we'll see if he comes, how long it's going to take. But we'll look at another thing at his Wikipedia page here. So he had a shotgun incident. This was in 2013. And the thing is, they bring up things from years ago, and this is both sides do this. Just I think a lot of hoopla is going on. It just kind of disappoints me. And I'm looking here. Also, we have the whole Katie Hobbs. We have a lot of things that are thrown into right now into just disarray right now, and a lot of people were expecting a red tsunami and then a red wave, and now it's it might just be a red puddle.
I see that God has joined us.
Oh, he has? Well, we are the true king of the Jews. He's been silenced in Thailand. King of the Jews, how are you? How have you been? God.
I am your Lord, thy God, Brian.
That is correct. So, what do you think? Now, this man is from your state, John Fetterman. I have called
Fetterman?
Fetterman, yeah.
Fetterman.
Half of Pennsylvanians who voted to send a retard to the Senate.
Jeez.
Now, if you don't like that word retard, we'll look up the definition of what is a retard.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on.
It's somebody who's retarded. He's had a stroke. He's not normal. He can't hold a conversation. Can't follow a conversation. How is he going to be? He should be impeached.
Is the sympathy vote real? Do people really vote?
No, it's not a sympathy vote.
I don't think so either.
Nobody would choose between a doctor, a surgeon, and a retard. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen.
How do you think? Let me ask you this, God. How do you think?
Yes.
How do you think this man got to the Senate from his basement to the Senate? How do you think that happened?
Well, fraud always goes on in Philadelphia.
Okay.
It goes on in Pittsburgh, but not to the extent that it goes on in Philadelphia. And Harrisburg is a little bit further down the field. But I would imagine that there was a lot of fraud going on. And the Republican tsunami happened. You just didn't see the Democrat tsunami that countered it.
Ah, so you're saying that basically they countered it. The tsunami was with votes, and the counter was with fraud. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if it was noted that all of the Democratic stronghold areas in Arizona, they work flawlessly. Didn't nobody had a problem with the machines. They didn't run out of paper. The toilet wasn't stopped up. But in the Republican strongholds, run by the Democrats, because the Democrats run all these polling places, they had problem after problem after problem, making all the people wait in line, which a lot of people gave up and went home. They didn't vote. They came to vote, but they didn't vote. They were disenfranchised by these, well, I'll get to that in a second, by these, and I use the word loosely, people. See, the Democrats fight dirty. The Republicans, it's the same deal as how we won the Civil War, not the Civil War, the war between us and Britain. Britain stayed true to that standing in line, standing there while they fiddled with their muskets, and the Americans popped out of nowhere and just shot them dead. Well, that's the same thing happening today. The Republicans want to play by the rules, and the Democrats never play by the rules. So if only one person on the field is playing by the rules, what's the point?
I guess that now, do you think now if the Republicans retain the House, do you think that there will be hearings on election integrity?
Oh, plenty of them. Lots of embarrassing hearings, and they'll prosecute no one.
So nothing will come of it.
No. You mark my words.
Yeah.
They will prosecute no one. If they were smart, I don't know who can the House impeach Fetterman?
Perhaps, I don't know. That's something new to me. Now you are a rather doom and gloom god.
Yes.
We had a horrible day on Wall Street, and then we also had what is going on with crypto, Howard? Joey, Howard, what the hell is going on with crypto?
First of all, I only care about gold. I don't care about crypto.
Oh.
Gold has left the station. It is building momentum.
You're about to, yeah. That's a good call. I think gold is where it's at. I've been telling Brian for ages, and has he listened to me once? No. Has Santa listened to me once? No.
See, I bought a lot of gold at the high of about 1975, 1900 now. I lost almost $300 on paper, but I'm not worried. Because I know that the disaster that's coming is going to catapult gold beyond 2000. Way beyond.
Yeah, it's going to go way beyond, I believe. But I also have been I've said for a long time, crypto long term could be a nice investment. I'm not so sure. It's a lot of things, bad things have happened.
See, here's the problem. Problem with crypto is that it can be so easily lost or locked.
Yes, I'd like to get a medium vanilla milkshake.
Medium money.
You can screw up and lock your crypto. Doesn't matter how much you got. You leave it in the wrong place. You don't properly put it on a device. You can lose it. You can't do that with gold. Can't do that with gold.
So you have not invested anything in crypto?
Never. And I was offered to get into it at $1,200.
Oh. Now, Howard, have you ever been to West Reading, Pennsylvania?
I have, and it's a shithole.
Is it really?
Yes. It's not the place you would want to have an outdoor barbecue.
Is it rough?
Sure is now.
Really?
Reading. Nobody goes to Reading. Well, the Reading Railroad. That's a reason to go to Reading. But there's nothing in Reading. Reading is depressing, and it's very downtrodden. But it is. It's not the place you would want to settle. Nor would you want to settle in Erie. And Harrisburg is much looking like that. And they all have something in common, as you could well guess.
Well, now is Fetterman is Fetterman part does he have any Judy is there any Jewish in his bloodline? Because that is
take a look at his nose. He puts JP to shame.
So you can tell God being
Still
a
the king.
Yeah.
I made Fetterman. I know.
So you would bet money that he has Jewish heritage.
Yes.
You would
Fetterman.
Yeah.
Fetterman. A name like Fetterman. Yes.
Okay.
Now, next time, have you been called a Nazi lately?
No, I have not.
No, it's a shame.
I did call him a Nazi once. Yes.
Well, next time you're called a Nazi by someone on the left,
yeah,
what you should do is you should loudly and vociferously ask them, "Did you beat your child tonight? Did you molest your child lately? Lately?"
Yeah.
See, you're not. Don't accuse them. Don't accuse them of being a molester. Just ask them.
Yes.
But ask them relentlessly. Just go after them and don't give them time to breathe. Just pile on.
That is
and
a suggestion. Anyone that calls me, I say, "Have you molested your children? Have you molested any children lately? You sound like you have."
Well, no, you say it in a way. You say it in a way like this. Did you molest your child last night?
Let me try that, Howard. Did you molest your child last night?
Very accusatory, but it's a question.
Did you molest them? Did you have naughty man?
Wow! All of a sudden, the show changed. Oh, where JP's driving. He's on a speakerphone.
Yes, he is. Hopefully.
Listen, I hope you'll pardon my expression, but Jesus H. Christ.
Yes.
How dare you?
But so you're thinking that he won by fraud, and again, I'm thinking.
Do you really believe that 50% of Pennsylvanians, 50 Democrats are not 50% of Pennsylvanians? Do you really believe that 50% of the people that voted decided in their brain to send a retard to the Senate versus a man who's a surgeon?
Now, I want to say I disavow the word retard, but
No, the retard is perfectly fine. The word retard is a proper word. Read the definition of what is a retard, and you tell me if that doesn't fit Fetterman.
It's not considered a proper word anymore, Howard. You know that. Well, you know.
Wait a minute. Who decided it wasn't a proper word?
The people on YouTube and social media have decided that word.
Oh, okay. So then do you cower to them and not use that word?
No. There's nothing wrong with the word retard, especially for people who don't know what it means. Apparently, I mean, there's plenty of much larger shows that say retard all the time. Trust me.
By the way, they call that the R word. And
you're going to run out of letters in the alphabet for all these words.
I suppose. But that's what they have said.
I've been called the K word.
Really?
Yeah, many times.
Have you ever called someone that, Howard?
God.
Kickle? Were you called Kickle?
All right, enough.
That doesn't Kegel exercises, and it certainly doesn't mean vitamin K
Well,
or ketamine. It doesn't have anything to do with ketamine.
so now I wonder: has the Senate? I mean, has the Congress has that flipped in Republican hands, or is that still up in the air?
It's going to be up in the air until the Georgia runoff election between Warnock
I know.
and Walker takes place.
I know the Senate is up in the air, but I'm talking about like the.
No, I think they're going to take the House, but the Senate is going to be up in the air. And remember, the last time Georgia was the central part of fraud in the United States in the 2020 election.
Yeah.
And that's not my opinion. That Governor Kemp did absolutely nothing. He did absolutely zero to even investigate the fraud. But after the election was certified, a week or two after, that attorney general in Georgia filed charges against the county that Atlanta sits in, and they filed fraud charges against the election board. That's a fact.
And what happened with those charges?
Who knows?
Yeah, there we go. I mean, again.
Okay. Well. Hold on. Where is Hunter Biden?
Don't know.
Is anybody talking about Hunter Biden?
Do you think he'll be investigated?
He will be in the House. You can bet that. I have come across several articles, which you have not come across, because you've never talked about it.
Yes.
Hunter Biden's company, the one that does Hunter Biden has a company that does biological research. Guess what they're involved in?
Are they involved in what do you call it? God help me.
Gain of function research in Ukraine and in China.
Really?
Hunter Biden's secretary in China is married to one of the top people at the CDC in China, involved in the gain of function research. It's all fact.
Will this?
Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Dan Crenshaw has said that we should stop election denying, that the Republicans are hurting themselves by talking about.
Somebody should ask Dan Crenshaw when he last abused a child.
Give me a break. Okay, come on now. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise, God, you're going.
I show no mercy. I am not a merciful God.
No, you are a very vengeful, and you're doom and gloom. You're also saying that we will.
That's because I know everything.
Yes. So you're saying that the humans that you have created on this continent, that America is basically going to fall because of corruption. Would you agree with that? Would you?
Yes. It's been foretold. Unfortunately, I foretold it. I don't know why. I'm just that way sometimes. I wake up on the wrong side.
So just like the fall of Rome, America will fall.
America will not fall. America will go into a deep depression, and the people that have food and bullets, because you can't have food without bullets, people that have both food and bullets are going to be the ones that everybody goes after.
That is a lot of doom and gloom. I am hoping that is not true, and that.
Well, do you see the country less divided after this election?
Yes, Howard, it is divided, but
no, I said, do you see it less divided?
Absolutely not.
No.
So it's worse, and it's going to get even worse than that, because what's going to happen is all the people that are deciding whether to put gas in the tank or whether to buy food, they're they're going to run out. At some point, you can't keep borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and the interest rates have gone up. They're going up, and so everybody's paying more on their credit cards. And if you miss one payment, the credit card companies have in their agreement with you that they can raise your interest rates from that lovely, which you would have thought it was lovely, that lovely 13% to 23.
Not only that, God, but as you know, we've also borrowed something else from China, and that's the social credit ranking system. And so miss a payment and let your interest rates go up, and then also see your social credit score go down.
Well, you're already seeing that because if you have bad credit and you try to get insurance, you get charged more. When you go to buy a car, you're asked you're asked for your credit details, and if your credit details suck, you're going to pay a higher price, and you're going to pay a higher price for the insurance, for everything. So America is going to get the average American is going to get tired of being squeezed. I know. I made them.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like. That yeah, I mean, the average American is going to get squeezed, but we're very divided. Like even we can't even talk to one another about issues and the like with a lot of people. They get too mad.
No, don't talk anymore. Just ask them the last time they molested their child,
Yes, yes.
or the last time they molested a child.
Well, if someone attacks me, I might take that road, but for the most part, because you know what, Joey, my helper, we were out and we didn't find people too upset about things. One of the questions I'm going to ask now.
They're stunned. They're too stunned to really show you what's going on.
Yep.
But it hasn't gotten bad enough. Do you really believe? You have to sit back and think about this for a while. Do you believe even the Democrats who are hemorrhaging money everywhere? Do you believe that they backed Biden and backed all these Democrats because they're doing such a great job?
That's a good question. You know what? I have no idea. I think there's a
People do everything in their self-interest. You are a selfish individual. By the way, I also made Ayn Rand.
yeah.
And in making Ayn Rand, who gives me endless moments of satisfaction, people do things for their own self-interest. There's no
That's
such thing. There's no such thing as this social construct called doing good for one another. Nobody does that voluntarily.
so.
There's no such thing as altruism. God didn't invent altruism. You idiots who inhabit the planet did. It's a social construct.
Let me ask you this, Howard. What would you say?
God, sir.
God. So, God, what would you say to the white people that joined Black Lives Matter? Aren't they concerned with people of another race?
I would give them a huge dose of scabies, yeast infections, and leprosy if I could, but I'm too busy.
Yes, yes. But that doesn't answer my question. Didn't they do it out of altruism that they feel compelled? White silence is violence is what they yell, Howard.
No, they did it from peer pressure and because they're weak.
Yes. Well.
They were disgusting. They disgusted me. I made them.
Yes. And they seem to be turning the Garden of Eden into something
I
else.
would get those electronic fly swatters en masse and start zapping them all.
Yes, yes, yes. Perhaps not enough of them can be zapped. Well,
Oh, no. Where there's a will, there's a way. We can zap them.
oh my heavens, Howard. Um,
God, sir, you've
God,
confused me with somebody else.
God, King of the Jews. You know,
King of
put
the
it,
Jews is okay. God is a Jew.
God is a Jew. Yes. Now, what do you think of the man Kanye West, now named Ye? Do you have any opinion on him?
I still don't understand that. I created him as well, but come on, cut me a break. It's like the Purple Rain guy.
Yes,
Leave the
yes,
names the way they were.
yes. Well, he goes by the name Ye. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, he's copying Yeshua, and he's being a real putz.
Yes, yes. Um, and I imagine as God, you've come down in human form a couple of times, and perhaps.
Absolutely not.
Oh, oh. So what do
That
you?
would be so beneath me.
Yeah,
I
but
should I should smite you just for suggesting it.
if Santa were to go down and talk to the Hebrew Israelites, and they told Joey that he has never been a Jew, I don't know if you've
Well,
heard.
I can let you in on a secret. He was not born a Jew.
Well, okay,
He's an
suppose.
imposter. I know I made him.
Okay. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It's probably completely inappropriate.
He's the
But
worst god of all.
you know what? He's going to join Satan. He's going to join his own synagogue of Satan to defy you. But suppose I'm with a Jewish friend who's also like an Ashkenazi Jew, and one of them said he was speaking to the Hebrew Israelites, and one of them said, "You ain't ever been a Jew." How should that Ashkenazi respond?
When did you last molest your child?
Good God, Howard! No
Thank you.
intellect,
I'm so confused. You know who you're talking to.
but that's not any intellectual thing. That's just a put down. You just said when did you molest your child? Oh my heavens! Now he's gone. Joey, now we're doing a walk against the woke on December 3rd, and I want to welcome the slackers and the clackers and all the rest because I wanted to say this. The one thing I noticed, like with the hardcore Trump supporters and the anti-Trump guys, a lot of them are poor, and a lot of them are also living at home slackers. God is back on. God left for a while. I guess.
God said you angered God so much. So much vile and vitriol were thrown in all directions that the the godlike IP
Yes,
failed.
yes. Well, so what do you what would you say if you had Fetterman in front of you and he was praying to you, saying, help me do a good job"? What would be what would be your godly
How
wisdom?
did you manage not to get prosecuted for sticking a rifle into the chest of a black guy running from you because you chased him out of your home?
Yeah, that is a good question, Howard. Now,
God,
God, yes, God. Now, I want to say that
don't
since
make me say God damn it.
God, yes, God, since Fetterman has made it, there's a gentleman by the name of Dennis who lives in Canada, and I'm thinking since a Fetterman can make it in here in America, because Santa's an American, but do you think a person like Dennis may have hope to be some big shot in Canada, maybe even Prime Minister of Canada?
No, and God made Dennis, which God's ashamed of
Yeah.
admitting.
What would you say? By the way, what would you say to the uh, the Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Trudeau? What would be something that you would say to him if he was praying to you?
When's the last time you molested your child?
Good God, give me a break! All right, all right. I do have to end the show. We will be having a walk against the woke.
A walk against the woke. Is
Yes.
that like swimming upstream?
However you want to take it, Howard. Swimming upstream. All people.
God, sir.
God, we are we need your prayers against this walk, with this walk.
First of all, you should have figured out by now, God prays nothing for the likes of you.
Oh, give me a break. All right. Walk against.
Listen, do you think you're the final product?
I don't know, Howard.
The audacity that you think that you're the perfection. You're not. You're a big mistake.
Well, you know what? So is John Fetterman, and now he's a.
No, John Fetterman was not initially a mistake, but he had a retard clause built into his contract.
Oh, my heavens, Howard, you are. What would you say to Susan Wojcicki if she?
I would say that watching Fetterman,
Yes.
in the Senate is going to be comedic gold.
Yes. Now, I think that if I think it would be a kind of a good TV show if Fetterman and this Dennis character got together and did a cross country trip. I think it would be comedy gold. I don't know. Anyway, guys.
Oh, by the way, I already know what happens, but what do you think is going to happen when Fetterman takes that stroke again? Because he's going to have another big one coming.
How do you?
What do you think?
Okay.
I'm God, you idiot.
All right.
Okay, so what do you think is going to happen when Fetterman has that big stroke that I ordained? And who do you think will take his Senate seat?
Probably
His wife.
Yes. Howard, I think you're God, I think you're a nasty, mean God and not a loving God. But
I'm a very vindictive God. How can you love a mistake?
I don't know. Joey, anything to add before we call this show a day? Or night?
Oh God, part 4.
Oh God, part 4. With Burns. All right. God, do you have anything to say before I end the show?
I certainly do not. Although I would like to ask all the Democrats out there, when's the last time you molested your children?
All right. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Walk Against the Woke, December 3rd. Thank you for listening. Have fun. And the opinions expressed are not necessarily that of transparency and merit. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good night. Sleep well.